Hello everyone, my name is Quad and today we'll be looking at all the arcanes you can get on your primary weapons up to update 36.4. This video is focused on players that don't have these arcanes yet and wish to see if the farm for them is worth it or not. I will not be sharing the exact farming location in detail for every single arcane I show since some of the farms require you to do more steps than one. I suggest you look at the Warframe wiki or in the codex to see where you can get all the arcanes you want. In the codex, you need to go under the universe, then choose the relics and arcanes at the bottom left corner, click on the arcane you want and see the location where you can find it under its effects. To install the arcane on your primary weapon, you will first need a primary weapon arcane adapter, which you can get in multiple ways. The most common one is on the steel path as the offerings from Teshin later in the game. Earlier on, you can also buy it from Arcane if she has it as an offering, and also you can buy it from the market for 20 platinum. To install the primary weapon arcane adapter, go to the primary weapon you want to install it on, click on the little arcane icon, and then confirm. That is it, now you can install all of your arcanes you want. I will show you the rank 5 of every primary arcane so you know the full potential it has, but if you have a lower rank of any of the arcanes I show you, just get it on, even if it's a rank 1 or even 0. Doesn't matter, the weapon will be a lot better with it. But yeah, let's now start with Primary Blight. Primary Blight is an arcane you can farm in the Duviri and the Circuit. This arcane will require you to proc toxin damage on the enemy. You will need to put 40 toxin status procs on all of the enemies in total to get out the full potential of this arcane. When you get it up to 40, it increases your critical damage by 144% and multi-shot by 72% for 12 seconds. These stat increases work in the same way as mods, so they are based on the base critical damage and base multi-shot. Because you need to do toxin damage, you need to mod your primary weapon for it, or you can also use the Toxic Lash ability on Sarin, which will add toxin status to all your attacks. The effect of the arcane will vanish if you let the countdown timer go to 0, all of the stacks. Because of this, it is better to use it with fast fire rate and high status chance primary weapons. It also saves you a slot for critical damage mods since the increase at max stacks is quite staggering. Primary Deadhead is an arcane you can get by killing acolytes on the steel path. This arcane will increase headshot damage by 30%, reduce the weapon's recoil by 50%, and do 120% damage per headshot kill up to 3 times, for 24 seconds. It stacks up 3 times, giving your weapon a maximum of 360% damage increase. If you have all the 3 stacks, for example, and the timer runs out, you will not lose all the stacks, but you will lose 1. This makes it a bit better since you don't have to rush to keep all the stacks. Because of how this arcane works, it is better to use it on accurate weapons that don't do radial damage so you don't accidentally kill all the enemies and so you can actually score headshots. But anyways, let's continue to the next one. Primary Dexterity is an arcane that you can get by killing acolytes on the steel path. It is for people that love to play with melee weapons while also using the primary weapon. This arcane makes your combo duration for melee weapons longer and also increases damage by 60% for 20 seconds, each time you kill an enemy with the melee weapon. It stacks up 6 times to a total of 360% damage increase. If you have all 6 stacks, for example, and the timer runs out, you will not lose all the stacks, but you will lose 1 stack. It is a very nice arcane to use if you love playing with melee weapons, just because of the increased combo duration. I myself don't really use it a lot, but I know people that love Cooler Bow or Varuna can be pretty happy with it. Let's continue. Primary Exhilarate is an arcane that you can get in the Duviri and the Circuit. It has very niche uses in my opinion. This arcane will give you 1.2 energy per second when you proc an impact status with a primary weapon. You will go up to 3 stacks with it to a total of 3.6 energy per second, each one giving you 1.2 energy. The effect lasts for 10 seconds and downgrades by 1 stack if the timer runs out, also giving you less energy. This arcane is quite good on warframes that need a lot of energy and can easily be used on the base steel path. It is a reliable source of energy that I do not see used a lot. And that is because we have other mods, arcanes, companions, focus schools even, that get you a lot of energy really quickly. So, just another arcane that you can swap for something better, I guess. Let's continue. Primary Merciless is an arcane that you can get by killing acolytes on the steel path. This arcane will speed up your reload by 30% and will give you a 30% damage increase for 4 seconds each time you kill an enemy up to 12 times. The total damage, if you have all the 12 stacks, leads up to a total of 300% damage increase. It is great on weapons that can kill quickly, but you will really need to watch out and kill them fast, since the timer can get the better of you and reduce the number of stacks really quickly. The stacks go down by 1 each time, so you don't have to worry about the effect disappearing in just 4 seconds. It will take a lot longer to lose all the stacks. It is a good arcane to have on radio damage dealing weapons or those that can kill very quickly. If you use it on weapons with very long reloads or very slow fire rate, you will lose stacks a lot quicker than you can get them, so yeah, don't use it on those weapons. Use them on the very quick killing ones. Now let's continue with Primary Frostbite. Primary Frostbite is an arcane that you can get in conjunction survivals. This arcane will increase your critical chance by 130% and your multi-shot by 90% for 12 seconds. To get to this, you will need to stack up 40 procs of cold status on the enemies collectively, which is not the hardest thing to do. You will have to watch out though, since after the timer comes to 0, it will erase all of the stacks you got. So you will need to consistently proc cold status on the enemies. In my opinion, it is a very nice arcane to use on weapons that have fast fire rate and can also freeze enemies, since you'll do increased critical damage from the arcane and also from the frozen enemies, which receive more critical damage as it is. From the top of my head, the weapon I would put this on is definitely Tenet Glaxion, but to be honest, this arcane is quite niche. So let's continue to the next one, Primary Obstruct. Primary Obstruct is an arcane that you can get from the Circuit and the Duviri. It is a crowd-controlling arcane. It will jam the weapons of all the enemies in a 15-meter radius when you proc a magnetic status on one of them. After that, the arcane will enter a 10-second cooldown. The jam, however, of the enemy's weapons lasts for around 4 seconds for the first enemies on average, which means it is not the best when it comes to its work. It has very niche uses, for example as an additional crowd control with the Tenet Ferox, which groups enemies up and makes them helpless every once in a while. But yeah, the jam duration is not good at all. So let's continue to the next arcane, Primary Plated Rounds. Primary Plated Rounds is an arcane that you can get from mirror defense missions on Mars. It is a very interesting arcane that is good on weapons with large magazine and fast fire rate that do not have a rechargeable magazine or are bows. The effect of this arcane is quite simple. When you reload your weapons, you will do increased damage based on how empty the magazine was. The emptier it was, the more damage you will deal over the next 8 seconds. The amount of damage goes down logarithmically, meaning that the more you increase the magazine, less of damage increase you will get. However, it is still better to have a huge magazine. For example, Soma Prime with 200 rounds in the magazine will get a 474% increase to damage, and Tigris with 2 rounds in the magazine will get a 47% damage increase. In my opinion, this arcane is not the best just because of its duration. Only an 8-second interval with a clashing large magazine requires you to have insane amounts of fire rate on your weapon. However, this doesn't mean it is not good. You just need to mod it for insane amounts of fire rate, like insane. And yeah, you need to disable the screen shake because it will get shaky. But anyways, let's continue to the Fractalized Reset Arcane, which is an arcane that you can get on the Zariman. It is a very niche arcane that is the best on weapons with a long reload. What this arcane does is pretty straightforward. Once you cast an ability, your reload speed will increase by 240% for 5 seconds. This reload only works on primary weapons sadly, so don't be as cheeky as I was and test it out on secondary weapons as well. This arcane has its uses on Trubna for example, or any other long reload primary weapon. So yeah, let's continue to the next arcane. Longbow Sharpshot is an arcane that you can get in the Duviri and in the circuit. It is a bow-specific arcane and is pretty straightforward. On a headshot with the bow, you will do 300% more damage on your next shot. I myself do not like this arcane the most because you need to be quite accurate, but you can easily use it if you have the Eagle's Eye. It can be quite a fun arcane to play with. And the last primary arcane we will take a look at is Shotgun Vendetta, which you can get in the Duviri and in the circuit. This arcane can only be equipped on shotguns and will increase their multi-shot and reload speed for 15 seconds. At max rank, the multi-shot will increase by 180% and the reload speed bonus will increase by 75%. But you first have to kill an enemy within a 5-meter radius. Since the weapon you are going to use is a shotgun, this is extremely easy to achieve. The only thing you need to do is watch out for your survivability and you are golden. It is a shotgun, come on. It's not that hard to kill things that are close to you. But anyways, that is it. Those are all the primary arcanes you can get in Warframe. What are your favorite primary arcanes? My favorites are definitely primary Deadhead and also primary, I don't know, Shotgun Vendetta? I think Shotgun Vendetta is a very powerful arcane if you know how to use it on pretty much any shotgun. But yeah, let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. Anyways though, I hope you learned something new in this video. I thank you for watching and I wish you a very nice day. Bye guys!